You know, it's rare that I get to talk about Taylor Swift on this show because this is a true crime program, right? But our paths have crossed in the past, in that for years, Taylor has been battling an aspect of true crime that is bedeviling. An aggressive and relentless and downright dangerous stalker. She won a 5-year restraining order against a man who repeatedly came to her house, tried to hijack her mail, and claimed that she was the mother of his child. The multi-platinum singer has said that she lives in, quote, fear of imminent harm from this man. But since this perpetrator didn't show up for court, things became even more ominous for Taylor Swift because nobody knows where this guy even is on any given day. And he himself may not even know that he's actually been, quote unquote, restrained. And so Taylor, her fear continues. As does the question, if a billionaire singer with that much money and influence and lawyers cannot solve a stalker problem, what chance does any of the rest of us have, right? Anyone like Kylie Burse. Kylie is a meteorologist for our affiliate station, KDVR, Fox 31 in Denver. And for the last 3 years, she has been stalked by a viewer who will not stop. He started by sending her messages on social media. Then he showed up to events that he knew she was attending because she's a public person. In time, he got a hold of her personal cell phone number and used it. He harassed her. He harassed her family and her friends. And this 69-year-old, yes, I said 69-year-old man, claimed to be Kylie's husband. Starting to sound like Taylor Swift, right? In 2023, Kylie got a temporary restraining order against this man. No matter, he broke it. Not just once, not twice, not even 3 times. He broke it more than 50 times in 2 months. He broke it in 2 months, 50 different times. In January of 2024, she got a permanent restraining order. And for 18 months, things went quiet. Until last month, September 11th. The stalker followed Kylie home. She's coming home from work. He's right behind her, and I'm going to let her pick up the story from there.
He used his truck to follow me into the alley, trapping me in my garage. I was able to get into my house. He then went around to the front door and started ringing the doorbell. When I was able to call 911, grab my dog, and get out of there. What's wild is this man has been stalking me for over 3 years now, and he was let out of jail on a misdemeanor, not felony stalking like it was originally supposed to be. You can look up the law for yourself. I'm going to go over some of the basics when it pertains to my case. Repeatedly follows, approaches, or contacts. So when the detective called me and said that this doesn't count as felony stalking, he told me to go look at the law. I looked at it with lawyers and whatnot, so you saw repeatedly follows. He said because there was a break in time from the original stalking to when he followed me home, it does not count as repeated.
The man's alleged misdemeanor is, quote, violating a protection order. He was arrested, but, yep, free, $1,500 bond. No restrictions on his comings and goings, unlike his victim, who no longer feels safe in her own home, and so she has packed up and moved out. Kylie Burse joins me now live. Kylie, I am so incredibly sorry that you are having to deal with this. I don't think many people really understand how incredibly onerous it is to live with something like this for just a couple of weeks, let alone 3 years. Tell me a little bit more about what happened that night that he showed up at your house and you're trying to back into your garage.
Yeah, Ashleigh, thank you so much, and I really appreciate you having me on tonight. That day, it's hard to describe because the moment that I saw him, when I realized that it was him blocking me in my garage, the feeling in my gut, my stomach just dropped. And I remember thinking, okay, if he has a weapon, you need to get down as fast as you can. I got that garage closed. I was able to get inside. He got around, starts ringing the doorbell, and I was able to get out, calling 911, dog in hand, met a police officer in the park. They sent another officer to the house. He had continued sitting outside the house and was there for about 20 minutes before they got there. And then he was eventually arrested for what they told me was felony stalking at the time.
And yet, he's arrested for felony stalking. He doesn't get charged with it. Why? Like, what happened? Yeah. Where's the disconnect?
You know, the detective really did fight for me. he called and said that the DA is not going through with the felony charges. He's bringing it down to a misdemeanor. And when I asked why, he brought up that gap. So that gap that was a year and a half from January of 2024, when the protection order seemed to be working, until a month ago. And he said, 18 months is too long. It doesn't count as repeated. So I get lawyers with me. I'm looking at the law, and there's nothing in there about a timeline. So I say, I want to speak to the DA. I want to advocate for myself. I want to let him know how I'm feeling about this, and just talk to him. Maybe he doesn't understand that this had happened for years prior to that. And he just kept saying, it's been too long of a gap. And so finally I say, okay, so how long do I have to wait for this man to stalk me again so that it goes down from felony to a misdemeanor? He can't answer me. I'm pressing him for a timeline. Finally he goes, it's a judgment call. And I said, well, your judgment call is putting my life in danger.
Well, we called. We reached out to the Denver DA's office to press them on this, saying, if this is a judgment call, come on. What are you are you waiting for her to die? Like, what are you waiting for? We are waiting to hear back from the DA's office. And in fairness, we're a live program. We produce every day. So I like to give them the opportunity to get their messages and respond to them. But so tell me, do the police haul him in and read him the riot act and hold him in an interrogation room and say, you can't do this? Like, you're going to be arrested next time. Do they do all of those things, or do they even share with you what they do?
I don't know exactly what went on when they arrested him. I was kept, understandably, a pretty far distance away from him, because part of what they want is to have that connection to you. I don't know exactly what happens. All I know is that I have followed everything that I can do when it comes to the law. I put the temporary restraining order in place. I called 911 when I was supposed to do that. I did everything right, assuming that the system was in place and the law's there to protect me and to put this man in jail for a period of time. And so it was really disappointing and disheartening when it just doesn't work. And I'm left feeling unsafe. He is wearing an ankle monitor, so he is not allowed to come within, a certain distance of where I am and, of course, my work and whatnot. But even then, you get a heads up of a couple of minutes. The police can't get there in time. If this person wanted to be violent, they could do so within that period of time.
Once he gets into the circumference where his ankle monitor disallows him, he's so close to you that police can't get there as fast as he can get to you, which just makes no sense at all.
Yeah.
I just don't understand how you can violate a protective order 50 times and that's not considered felony stalking. Law be damned. Maybe it's time to change that law, given how much this happens to so many people. I got 10 seconds left, but I got to ask, do you have any other legal recourse?
No, I'm just hoping that, this doesn't happen to other women going forward. This is why I wanted to share my story. I want them to be harder on stalking so that it doesn't happen to other people.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.